Monster fans,
Hello, what's the garage?
No, this is your mom.
to this week's build team to defeat the mighty Zeus.
It's like shooting ducks in a barrel.
Or will a truckload of tool batteries weigh them down?
You're not gonna commit suicide, are you?
Don't Fuego! Just hold on tight. And prepare to be shocked by this electrifying episode of Monster Garage.
Join us now as Jesse and his gang of maverick mechanics rip, grind, and burn, transforming ordinary street vehicles into monster machines in the Monster Garage. This week's challenge, transform a rusted-out 62 Chevy Bel Air into an electric speed demon with the help of some very high-powered tool batteries. The rules: when built, the vehicle must appear to be stock. The team has only $5,000 for parts. Jesse and the crew have 7 days and nights. On the first day, they design. On the next 5, they build. And on the 7th day, they race. If successful, the team walks away with a $4,000 set of Mac's hottest tools. And they'll each get a 28-volt lithium-ion combo kit from Milwaukee Electric Tools. And the clock starts now. Jesse shows no respect for the elderly as he prepares this old-timer for a makeover of the monster kind. This week, he's building a beast the world has never seen, an electric car powered by handheld tool batteries. After a stressful morning of pylon punishment, Jesse calms himself with a Tesla facial treatment.
Our cone! We'll send the bill, right?
The design team surges forth. John Zick, a battery expert from Milwaukee Tools who helped to develop the V28. From Youngstown, Ohio, parade float maker and electric dragster expert Sean Lawless. And Kimberly Wu, a transportation design student at the Arts Center from Pasadena, California.
How you
John
doing?
Zick.
You from Milwaukee?
I'm from Milwaukee.
Look against.
Sean Lawless.
What's up, man? Hi.
Hi, Kim.
Awesome. I think cars should be cool no matter what they're powered by. And oh yeah, they just happen to be electric. I mean, all of them look like, you know, you have to live in a house made of cans and wear like hemp clothes to drive them. You know, I want something cool, and it just happens, we just never have to get gas again. And it's still a cool classic car. A couple different things. I mean, I think we need to make it haul ass. And I think we need to, instead of just using big, deep cycle car batteries, you know, we should, like a golf cart. I mean, I think that's too easy. I think we need to use tool batteries and add an extra degree of difficulty. It'd be kind of cool to pop the trunk and see all these tool batteries, because I think people would understand it more instead of looking at a golf cart looking trunk.
So we're probably looking at about a little over 400 batteries.
Awesome.
Or something like that, this size.
That's gonna take forever to let each of them charge up.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll prefab some racks and measure and see how many we can get lined up, you know?
Yeah, I'm thinking if we do run a bus bar, positive, negative, through the middle of these and put one on each side. And then if we do like, I don't know, if we need 15 or 30 in parallel, and then we'll just series how many that we need. Problem we have is we've got smart battery, smart charger. So this is, you know, the first.
Stupid driver. Balances it out.
How about the engine that's in it? What do we got in it to work with?
6-cylinder.
We get the 6 out. If we get it out of there and get the radiator out of there, we should be able to fit a couple motors in there.
Okay. Let's do 2 motors. I mean, if let's look at it and measure it first. See if we can get them side by side with some kind of drive system. What are you thinking about, like a belt drive or a gear driver?
I think we can get them in tandem, direct couple. I think we got enough length if we pull the radiator out. Maybe we want to take a preliminary look and see if we got the length without altering the exterior.
They make
of the
them with
car.
the shaft that goes all the way through. And
Right. We'll be over 400 volts going into each controller. We'll put 2 of these controllers, one on each side of the motor. And we plug our programmer in right here. We'll set you up however you want it. You know, if you say, hey, I got too much wheel spin, back it off the start, we can do that. You know, hey, I want more.
I don't think I'm going to be saying that ever.
Hey, it's going too fast, slow it down. Yeah.
I know where we can get a deal on batteries. I think that's it. Just make an electric car.
Maybe we can put.
It doesn't sound too wild when you say that, but if we put 500 horsepower in it, it'll be cool. This is the first car I won't be able to make a cool exhaust for.
Making this Tin Lizzie electric will require a complete overhaul. First, they'll remove all things fuel-based, the gas tank, exhaust system, and motor. Then they'll install 2 12-inch DC motors for an engine. At the back end, they'll build a custom battery rack and drop in 420 V28 lithium-ion tool batteries for power. Then they'll get it ready to race by adding a 2-speed power glide transmission and a custom drive shaft. They'll add a stronger rear end and get some slick wheels before smoking the tires in the quarter-mile race. Day 2. This week's team arrives at the garage, energized for the challenge ahead. From Campbell, California, muscle car expert and owner of Magnum Force race car fabrication, Ron Jenkins. Rich Madman Rudman hails from Kingston, Washington, where he owns and operates a battery car charging company, Manzanita Micro. From Whittier, California, Denny Delamater owns a custom toolbox company, Delson Products. And staying on for the build, Sean Lawless and John Zick.
Hey, man. Jesse.
Rich.
What's up, man?
Jesse.
Back again. All right, so you guys heard most of the design stuff. Just gonna make a cool 500 horsepower electric car. Nothing to it. The motor and stuff will definitely have to come out. We'll probably pull the trans out and see if we can get a rebuilt one, maybe from Art Car or something. Exchange it, get a good kind of drag race power glide for it. For the rear suspension, you know, we should probably, you know, put some different gears and maybe just upgrade the springs and stuff like that. I mean, if it's 500 horsepower, and this thing will break everything if you just put it in without upgrading it. So then the most, I think, labor after that is installing the motors and then trying to fit 400 batteries.
420 batteries.
Yeah. So when you get this car for Christmas, the box is gonna say
Batteries?
yeah, must have 400 quadruple A batteries.
This week's build begins in true monster fashion with a mouthful of fuel.
Our new fuel. Out with the old, in with the new.
Taking the gas tank out for the last time.
To prepare the Bel Air for its transformation, the team tears out all parts related to the old internal combustion engine.
Go down.
Try and get as much weight as possible out of this thing.
This thing's a rusty nightmare.
Yeah, ain't it? Watch your eyes. Come on. There you go.
Batteries are here, guys. At least a few. So right now I'm just kind of laying out one bank. This would actually be one bank of batteries. And then we'll probably have to do, I think, about 14 of these.
I'll tell you what, yeah, we can get a tape. We're close to the 6 foot right there.
Should I lay down in it?
Yeah, lay down. Get laid down in it.
5'9".
All right.
5'10".
We got it. We got 6 foot. That's what we want.
So height's not going to be an issue because we got, I mean, we
Height's
even
not an
have-
issue if we
even-
go
even
11.
have 11
But if we
there.
can get 22, we can double stack.
Can we go up another bank? We went 11.
Yes. We can go 11 times 2.
Lots of batteries.
What we're putting 420 of these in this trunk, but also being able to snap the battery into the car. Each time the car comes back to be recharged, all 420 of these have to go on a charger. So we have to.
So we have to
be
make
able
them
Not only do we
removable.
have to be able to plug them all in, we can't just plug them in and stuff them together because we can't get them out. So we have to be able to plug them in and remove them. in a relatively short amount of time.
To make space for the incoming batteries, Danny tears out the floor pan.
I'm just kind of giving them some room and then give them some ideas on what kind of space they're going to have. And once they get some space, they'll be able to lay it out. They're probably going to have to change the design again, but they're probably going to have to lay it out. I think they're going to have a lot of room, but they get a lot of batteries. Round 2.
What do they do with that engine? Okay, we got the batteries in. You got the engine out?
We're gonna run out of jack, guys.
Just jack that thing all the way up until it stops.
Forward, forward, forward. Clear.
You're gonna lose it.
Tail ship.
Only the mechanical could make this kind of mess. The old straight 6 engine bleeds tranny fluid all over the floor.
Done. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. You guys are engineless. Get on the batteries, man.
You're not gonna commit suicide, are you?
Why?
Because Seattle's like the suicide capital of the earth.
Only in the winter when it's gray, but I have this safety clause. When it's gray in the town, it's snowing up top, so therefore I get to go skiing. So the worse it is downtown, the better it is up in the hills.
Well, let me know if you get depressed or anything during the build, and we'll bring that midget out here to cheer you up.
Near the end of day 2, the team gets a special delivery. A pair of electric motors, the heart of the power plant. These silent runners will turn electric energy into mechanical energy.
That's a lot of motor. These are about 230 pounds apiece, and the fastest in the business has one of these things at 110 pounds. So you can see, we can basically cut our weight in half and have the same motors.
You like to talk about electric motors a lot, huh?
I live and breathe them, man. I got motors like this hanging off motor stands in my shop.
What kind of car do you drive every day?
78 Ford Fiesta. It's about a $50 car with about $8,000 worth of hard drive in it. I can sign my name with the front tires at will in 3 gears.
You have an electric Ford Fiesta?
Yeah.
Rich Rudman is a self-proclaimed amphead geek who is dedicated to the environment and speed.
The majority of the electric vehicle people are into environmental action and wish to drive without burning any fuel. And there's a small cadre of us that says we can have our high performance and our craziness and still be zero emission, except our tires keep catching on fire. My street electric car is a 78 Ford Fiesta with 8-inch motor and a 1200 amp Raptor controller. And I've got 3 or 4 burn-off awards.
Just goes to show, man, we think this show has turned every stone in the gearhead industry, and along comes a dude with the Ford Fiesta electric car. I called him, he's like, yes, they called. Hello, what's the garage?
No, this is your mom. Close the back door. Turn your music down.
Okay, Mom. Where do you find motors like this?
These are General Electric. They're old industrial DC motors that might have been used in, probably not in a fork truck, but probably in a mill or some steel fabricating or steel manufacturing processing plant, rolling mills, something like that. Maybe old crane motors or something. But that was what they were designed for originally, to run at 100 volts each. So now we're going to run them at about 350 volts each.
I'm gonna spin this thing up.
How many volts are we put into it?
12.
Yeah, oh, cool.
Don't singe your hair.
I will.
The spinning motor is a sign of good things to come. By the end of day 2, the 44-year-old Chevy is stripped down and left for dead. And only an effective build team using the powers of electricity can resurrect it as a battery-powered beast. Monster Garage factoid. Electric vehicles ran as early as the 1830s. They were popular because they were smooth, quiet, and easy to drive. They were dubbed ladies' cars because you didn't have to have muscles to hand crank start them. Day 3. This crew has removed the mechanical to make room for the electrical, and today they'll see if it all fits. A box of battery chargers rolls in to wake up the builders, and Rich's task is clear: to charge hundreds of batteries without blowing a fuse.
Craziest way imaginable of charging an electric car. But it'll work.
Right now here we got 420 batteries that we're going to use. We got about half as many chargers, so about 210 battery chargers. They charge in an hour, so basically we can get a full bank of charge in 2 hours.
John Zix championed lithium technology with the Milwaukee heavy-duty boombox. But does he foresee a lithium-powered electric car industry anytime soon?
I think it's a long ways off yet. There's a lot of obstacles to overcome. You know, you just can't make enough batteries to support the industry for one thing. So the true full-blown electric car will definitely take a long time to die, probably not within our lifetime.
Sean and Ron have a tough time cramming the dual electric motors into this pint-sized space.
Here's where we have a clearance problem. We can beat that back a little bit, or we can cut that plate off.
Right on the corner. It's the strongest part on the firewall.
Let's cut the plate.
To fit the oversized motors into the snug front end, Sean and Ron use every tool at their disposal.
There we go. Okay, now we're getting closer to home.
It gave us a whole bunch of clearance so we can move it around wherever we need it now. It moves all over the place now.
To me, that's about where it's going to have to be.
Cutting the framework for dropping these batteries in, and I'm just kind of 45 in the end to make my welding a lot easier. I'll give them as much room and let them figure out where the battery's gonna go.
To make this heavy car go fast, the team needs to arrange the batteries to allow for the most voltage possible. Danny likes them tightly packed.
Tight's nice, but we got to be able to service this thing in a freaking hurry.
John likes them stacked in a row.
30 in a row.
We're going to have to make and unmake this thing. Otherwise, all the other bars are going to be in the way. If you go from the top down, all this arrangement's in the way. You take the first one off easy. Now you got to put your hand through these bus bars that are still hot. The pucker factor goes up as the battery rack goes together.
Although he seems like a stickler for safety, Rich has reason to worry. When all the batteries are wired together, there'll be over 300 volts of electricity flowing in the back end. People have been killed by shocks of just 50 volts. John turns out his best idea yet.
Now with this idea, you can get in, remove one layer of batteries, and then you can get in and remove the next layer of batteries. And you never have to remove these bus bars.
But the point is, can you reach down through four stacks of batteries and get the bottom battery?
This would have to come up and over.
Frankly, I do not want to stick my hand down across bus bars. There's a plate. Yay! You know what? That's why we don't want to mess around with bus bars.
Sean's got the solution to keep safety first, breaking the voltage between layers.
Why can't we tie every layer in series?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, let's break the series leads between the layers. All the layers are separate now.
Yep.
Now you can reach in and grab these bars. It can't do anything. It's dead.
I still would use a damned glove.
I like breaking the voltage. You're a third of the voltage each pack.
To reduce the danger of electrical shock when loading and unloading batteries, the team will add voltage breaks between each layer. Once all the batteries are removed from a layer, the layer's bus bars will become safe to touch and won't shock any builders.
Just don't want anybody getting killed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough voltage and current here to just knock you dead.
With these words of encouragement, the team calls it a day before anyone gets hurt. They took a big bite out of the conversion today by charging the V28s, installing the motors, and figuring out the battery rack system. But they've still got a long way to go before they juice this beast. Day 4. In need of a recharge, the team takes a field trip to check out the competition and learn from a pro. They'll get schooled by Tom Gage, a master EV expert from AC Propulsion.
It's the T0. It's an electric car built in 1997, 80,000 miles on it, still going strong. It's got 6,800 little batteries in it. Pulls 165 kilowatts, 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. Can charge up in 3 hours. Goes 300 miles on a charge.
Being an eco-geek, it's no surprise that Rich takes the first test drive.
Wait.
That's fun. That's a slot car without a slot.
They're 2 amp-hour cells, and we got 68 of them, so 136.
That's bottom, dude.
Brand new tires.
That car's gonna whoop that thing's ass, dude. Yeah, that thing's weak. And it's yellow. That makes it even twice as slow.
He's got 150 kilowatts. We have 600.
Okay, good. So he's gonna lose, is what you're saying.
We've got a lot of weight.
Right?
A rejuvenated team slides back into the garage and is hit with the realities of tool battery-propelled cars.
We have a living room full of batteries that have to go in a Bel Air trunk, basically.
The copper artwork will begin today, and it's not going to be easy, and I hope we don't screw up because the potential there is pretty good. There's a lot of little things got to go together, and we got to do it times 56.
Midway through the build, and these fellas seem to be getting a little too close for comfort. While the rest of the crew gets to work, Rich prays to the battery gods for help with the monstrous amount of work to be done.
All right, guys, we got all the connectors now. This is what we need to do today.
A good chunk of the rest of the build is going to be involved in building these. This is going to be where the effort goes. That stuff's kind of a different thing than this. This is like doing brain surgery. That's like doing construction work. And that's artwork.
To create a single bus bar, 2 copper bars are attached by 16 connector blocks. Then positive and negative terminal wires are fed into each connector block, providing power. Plastic supports are added to secure the blocks and wires to the bus bar. Finally, 8 batteries are plugged into each side for a total of 16 batteries, juicing every bar.
Our big risk here is to somehow have these bars do that, because that is an explosion. Leave the building explosion, call 911. So this has got to be right, it's got to be together right, and it's got to be bulletproof. Once we start lighting these things up, we treat these things as a couple sticks of dynamite.
This transmission was donated by Lawless Industries. It was in a electric dragster that we had built. So what we're going to do is we're going to ship this transmission out tomorrow. Jesse's got a company lined up that's going to do a rebuild on it. Second gear's a little weak on it.
We need more chargers in here. Yeah. What do you want me to do? I can help.
This is kind of mind-numbing. I'll show you. You just got to do these until that pile goes away behind you. Here, I'll show you the trick.
Like Bombay factory worker work.
Exactly.
So you ready to commit suicide yet?
This'll do it for you.
I think it's guys like him that are giving battery power a bad name. And his wacky antics.
They all know me as Madman.
Now you know why.
Now you know why.
Because you like fast cars and fast women.
Well, actually, I got a
That's why your
wife, but
friends,
I like fast cars.
That's why your friends call you the cruiser. I can't be around that guy too much. It's like shooting ducks in a barrel.
Jesse adds some metal to the mix with a high-performance rear-end axle package from Curry, including a rear drum brake kit, control arms, and housing brackets.
I think if you're going to use the stock mounts, then get rid of the springs and shocks and run coilovers and run that top link.
Yeah, run the top link. We could box in the lower bars and run the coilovers off the backside.
And I think that'll be enough for 500 horsepower.
Yeah. Gonna weld the shock mounts on.
Being a true blue gearhead, Ron Jenkins has owned and wrenched over 60 Mopars in his life.
I think I've got absolutely no experience when it comes to electric cars, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I mean, I'd much rather be dealing with a 528-inch blown nitrous-injected Hemi, but, you know, you can only have so much.
Yank it. All right. How about that?
They've got to chisel away through layers of rust to disengage the old rear end.
It's ready to come out. We just need to pop this bolt out.
Okay. Come on. Okay.
How about right there?
That's a good spot.
It's full speed ahead for Rich and John as they focus on building the intricate bus bars.
Made number 1 of our bars. Now we're just stuffing terminals. Tomorrow will be all day of monkey work. Probably the rest of the build for me will be monkey work now. Repetition.
Danny welds the dual motors onto the custom brackets and the frame.
Where we're at, the motors are in, brackets, everything's welded up. The big question is, can we get all these batteries put together in time
Heard that.
So we got some good things coming, and we got some questions. 420 batteries is a challenge.
Maybe tomorrow the team will be ready to shock rock and start banging out the battery racks. But at the end of day 4, this crew ain't got jack in terms of raw power. On October 21st, 1879, one of Thomas Edison's first light bulbs burned for 40 hours. On October 23rd, the first light bulb joke was told. How many inventors does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1. But first, he needs a patent. It's day 5, and the team is electrified. They'll need to channel all their energy to keep this job on track.
And we're ready to get going. We want to work today.
To get the drilling done on time, Danny calls in a favor from a buddy.
Physically impossible to drill 10 holes in 54 of these bars in the time frame that we have to complete this. So they've stepped up and are drilling all those holes on automated machines.
Sean's on battery box duty today.
We're gonna build just a rectangular box that's gonna retain the battery racks, and we're gonna put it all together and see how it looks.
4 bus bars will be linked together in each box. Then 7 boxes will be wired together, 1 layer at a time, and stacked 2 across and 3.5 high for a total of 392 volts.
The reason we used wood for our box is we had to have a non-conductive surface that could contain the bus bars and yet be stackable. Just plastic was cost prohibitive and time prohibitive to get what we wanted. So we just used good old 2x6s.
Sean and John muscle the bus bars into the wooden frames.
Use the adjusting tool.
Stop. All right. Whoa. Not too far. There you go.
Is it over?
Yeah.
Okay. Plus 85. What's going to happen is all these trays will go in empty, like this. We'll set the tray in, and we're going to load all the batteries. Then we'll move to the next tray and set it in. So the trays aren't that heavy. Can be, put in the car. They're only 85 pounds.
Back in Ohio, Sean's got his own electric ride, the Orange Juice Dragster. But the one he built for his mom rules.
I built her a little Nash Metropolitan. We call it the Electropolitan. She went to the drag strip with me this summer, and her first run ever in the car, she broke a record. So my mother's a Nedra record holder, but I'm not.
The boxes look pretty, but will they carry current?
Okay.
That's the bar.
23.8 open.
23.8?
That's right.
John? It's a little low, isn't it, man?
23.4.
23?
Yeah, it's running a little low.
You think the wood's sucking some down?
Must be.
We are having it's drifting. Nothing. No gain. 52.5. Something's not right. Yeah, I smell burning wood too.
Yeah, I do too.
We got a problem.
52.6?
Yep, that's 2 batteries.
It's got to be the wood. I think we got too much resistance.
Where do we have smoke?
Yeah, the wood's too wet. Okay, so we got to get some dry wood, that's all.
Sean called it. Wet wood was sucking the juice out of the bus bars.
I didn't even check the wood when it came in 2 days ago. I didn't check it, so I went and picked it up this morning. I thought how heavy it was, and it's the moisture and it's conducting electricity between the 2 bus bars. So it's like a resistor in itself.
While he waits for the dry wood, Sean handles the kill switch, but he's got his own name for it.
What we got here is the proverbial first-class ocean lever. And when all else fails, that kills the whole system. If there's any chance of anything failing or motor controller sticking or anything catastrophic where the power is on full and full battery current and voltage is going to the motors, all you have to do is it's just a quick slap of that. That pops that out, everything's dead completely. The shifter's probably not as important as this.
Madman's also concerned about the dangers of raw power as he hooks up the controllers.
This stuff is no joke. Each one of these things is about 500,000 watts. You hook it up wrong, somebody's gonna get hurt. I really don't wanna hurt a Hollywood personality. Somebody can give me a hand with this thing.
The motor controllers regulate the power from the batteries to the motor. Madman connects the main artery of the power plant by wiring the motors at the front end to the batteries at the back end. Danny and Ron tackle the rear end install.
Whoops. You got it?
Like that?
Like that, yeah. Give it a shove forward.
Tap it in with a hammer now. Job well done.
Ron welds the rear axle to the chassis. Jesse arrives with 4 hot new customized wheels from Budnick. There are 2 18s for the front and 2 22s for the rear, as Jesse wants to keep a low profile on this car.
Let's get it as low as we can.
Yeah, I don't want to get so low that the drive shaft's an issue, though.
We might have to do a little
persuading.
to the front springs.
A little liquid persuading.
Little Long Beach lowering kit.
The heat softens the springs, and the weight of the car compresses them so that when they cool, there's a lower ride. Jesse's got a line on a transmission man. He heads out to get a complete overhaul on this troubled tranny in a hurry. Danny puts the finishing touches on his framework.
We'll make them fit.
Instant tire clearance.
The framework's as big as it's gonna get without altering the car's body, but it may not be big enough for all the batteries.
You got it?
It's full.
Full is good.
It's too full. Don't forget it has to come all the way up to here, and it can't hit here. It's not just this, it's this tall. If we try and stuff 420 behind that axle, this is gonna be down here.
Right, yeah.
And you're gonna look from the sides at the fender and you're gonna see this nice fender, and you're gonna see a square box sticking out underneath it.
Yeah.
Let's go 3 layers.
3 layers.
Right here?
2 layers and option for 3 if we need more speed.
There's too much junk in the Bel Air's trunk. To keep the monster nice and stock, they'll remove the top row of batteries for a reduced total of 384 batteries laid out in 3 layers.
Well, that was meant to be. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You gotta put a floor pan in that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like it. See, you'll never know, looking from the back, that the trunk's full of batteries.
We just gotta do block it in.
Perfect. Near.
Yeah. Zip up bed dip in that. We'll bust a little over here.
Of course.
Whip out the zzz in the on the zzz. While those guys are all.
Although Danny Delamater knows how to have a good time, he's been taking care of business since he was 16. He built his company, Delson Products, from the ground up.
We manufacture toolboxes for a lot of race teams. Basically, we supply pit carts and workbenches and workstations for all those people.
How you doing, Madman?
Getting mad.
We're getting mad?
Yes, I'm getting mad.
An oracle appears at the garage with a message of doom.
You're going to fail. You're going to fail.
I ground him, he's oh, you're dead.
Madman puts this scrawny brute in his place and defends the team's good name.
You got dry wood. California redwood, boys.
We gotta try that right away.
The objective tonight is to get a revised battery box done out of the dry wood instead of the soaking wet wood we had earlier, and hopefully the voltage loss through the wood will be a lot less.
Now that he's got the right stuff, Sean will build a prototype.
Hold that one, hold that one, hold that one. So now we got some nice dry wood. We left the connection a little bit looser. I think, let's go for 3. What do you think?
The more batteries they connect to the bus bar, the more voltage flows through the copper.
114.8. Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Sean's wet wood diagnosis was dead on. The dry wood solved their current quandary. They're relieved they overcame this giant hurdle, but do they realize the shocking amount of work that's ahead of them?
There's kicks, there's sparks, but will this electric beast be stillborn?
It's not doing it.
Hold on.
Stick around!
It's day 6. Jesse follows the team in for their final day on the battery-powered car and discovers a new recruit from Milwaukee.
Who are you?
Frank from Milwaukee, Bulls.
What are you doing here?
I don't know, but I was trying to help Jan to put these bars together.
Oh, so you guys are cheating.
He's got some manual labor.
Awesome. How you doing? I like that when a new guy just shows up on the team. It's like Star Trek, where like...
Sean has his morning woodwork cut out for him. To make up for lost time from the wet wood, he'll have to hustle and build the rest of the boxes today.
I got the easy job today. All I got to do is build these wooden frames. They're doing all the hard work on the battery connectors and bus bars.
Madman cuts and grinds down the rough edges of the plastic pieces. Danny's made a jig to save time on the final stretch of the bus bar assembly.
Made a straight edge it here. So there's 1, there's 2, and then I got just a locating jig for my holes here. Push it in, grab your drill, 2, 4 holes right there, done deal. Always be in the same spot.
Don from Robinson Manufacturing delivers the copper drilled in all the right places.
We've got the correct pieces, perfectly done to the print.
The team works together like a well-wired circuit. It's all hands on deck for the final bus bar assembly.
Frank's great. He picked this up so quick. There's no way I could have done it without him. Right, buddy?
Yeah.
Now that it's fixed, the 2-speed Power Glide transmission will boost the RPMs to higher speeds.
Yeah.
The tranny installs an intimate operation on this beast.
There it goes.
Jesse crawls up and under and puts his nose in the rear end.
Wow. This looks like...
Despite Danny's best efforts at getting the rear end ready for the batteries, Jesse's got an idea of his own.
Can I cut those little...
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little different. Okay. I'm gonna go straight up and then cantilever off of it, and then 45 so it doesn't...
Yeah, no twist.
So it's got some leverage.
Right on.
Being a real pro, Danny steps in as Jesse's right-hand man and gives it his all. Jesse's new and improved framework is solid as a rock. The weight of the batteries won't be dragging this end down. The Starboy stunt team from Akron, Ohio drops by to give Jesse a much-needed fix of internal combustion.
So rad.
They take over the mean streets of Long Beach to raise the bar on what you shouldn't try at home.
Where the hell's the police in this town? Rule, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm fine.
No rules.
After the wreck, Jesse lifts the little man over the handlebars for a big-time ride. Body drop holds his own, and Jesse's proud of his sidekick.
Back to work. We gotta get some work done. Looks like it's right on the money. See?
Right.
My dial caliper eyes.
Now that they have some elbow room for the battery boxes, Sean has to get them built and installed.
Hurry up, let's go. Yes, dude.
While the team scrambles to get the batteries in, Jesse decides to play his favorite game with Madman, Nerd Trivia.
Dad, you ever go to the Renaissance Fair?
No.
You have a car or truck or van with more than one antenna?
No.
It's two. Strike two. Did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons when you were a kid?
In college.
Did you?
My wife's the next dungeon master.
Really?
Come on.
Put the first battery pack in the beast.
That's the most logical location. We're gonna have to
Fire in the hole. Ta-da! One battery.
After they stuff the bottom racks full of batteries, they wire it to the next layer. They'll need to do this between each layer.
Don't talk to anybody around you.
Bang.
Just work.
Bang. Bang.
As Sean tightens the wires between the first and second layer, his wrench touches the bus bar and it throws a massive arc.
New wrench.
We need to pull batteries.
Need a new wrench.
Pressure's on to beat the clock, but they're on dangerous turf. They need to hook up the batteries and wires without killing themselves.
Just check before I stick my hand in here.
I'm holding death in my hands at the moment.
Jesse's unfazed by the possible death trap.
Hey, this isn't gonna be like Christmas tree lights where one goes out and then we have to change the whole thing.
No.
He's the battery expert, man.
Only only half of it.
Hold that up right there. Pull it back, Danny. Okay, now watch. Watch what you got going there. There you go. You got it. You're in.
Danny seems oblivious to the dangers of high voltage as he manhandles the Sawzall, making room for the battery boxes. The gas flap on this old rust bucket is still good for something, access to the batteries. The team uses their combined strength to wedge in the last of the battery boxes.
Hold on. Yeah,
I'll let the other one move.
Easy, easy. I want to see this wire. Yep. Pour in.
He needs to
Load the battery.
focus on this one last task, man.
Just let him get this last connect.
They scramble to stuff all the batteries in before the clock strikes 12.
All right. You got a pen?
Got 10.
Motor amps, 1,400. Battery amps, 600. Motor volts, 200. 1,400, 600, 200. Let's go for a ride.
The tranny needs a little juice for the road.
There you go. You got it. Give her hell.
A new monster comes to life. And what do we hear? Nothing but the sound of silence as the volts surge through the heart of this stealthy machine.
Should we try to race a golf cart or something to make it?
The Golf Cart Nationals.
All right, you ready?
The final test for this monster? A drive down Electric Avenue.
That was way yellow, son.
Good job. Mac Tools, Milwaukee Power Tool Kit, and all the V28 batteries you would ever want.
Build cost tally. Car cost $7,000. Build cost $4,993.82. Freebies $75,610.62. Total $87,604.44.
Buckle up, battery freaks! We're at the Auto Club Famoso Raceway in Bakersfield, California for a battle of the ages. Electric versus gas. Here to man the B28 fortified Chevy is Jesse James, and he'd rather be driving combustion.
Stupid electric car.
It may be stupid, but it sure looks pretty. Jesse's taking on the build team's resident long hair, Ron Jenkins, who's here to flex his muscle-bound Hemi Super B. Buzz. The rest of the crew is on site to make Jesse's electric dreams come true. Can this sweet Milwaukee battery buster show a gas-guzzling mechanical muscle car how it's done? We'll give you 2 guesses. Jesse's only got enough juice on this charge for 3 runs, so he better make them fast. And they're off! You gotta be kidding me! The electric car has died halfway through the first run!
It broke. I left good though. I think it popped the circuit breaker. Do you need one of those little glass fuses? Who's got a penny?
You got one.
The car might be lights out, but Sean's here to turn it back on.
When the car hooked up and started getting some traction, the current level went up so high, it blew the breakers apart. We had the battery amps at 1,500 per controller, so we had a total of 3,000, and the breaker system just couldn't handle it.
You electric car dorks are gonna look pretty stupid if this thing doesn't work.
With a little help from the crew, the car is ready for round 2. Jesse's quick off the line. It's not breaking down, but it ain't breaking any records either. 17.60 to 14.08. Sean thinks it's a traction issue.
What I'm gonna do is try and give him a little more traction off the line. I'm gonna back off the starting torque a little bit.
No, don't back off. Let's go.
All right. Never
The
mind.
tires were just cold.
All right, tires are cold.
Dude, turn it all the way up. All of it.
All the way up.
Jesse's gunning for another go, and he's got the juice for one final pass.
We'll get him. We'll get him this time.
You have it.
You watch.
Can it be? Is this electrified animal giving the Hemi a run for its money? Holy hot circuits! A 14.53 to 13.54. Jesse's cut the lead to less than 1 second. The team may have lost the race, but folks, they've earned the respect of one master fabricator.
That was pretty damn good for a car with tool batteries in it. That was a drag race. It left hard. I timed it just right off the line, so both left pretty good.
All right, I've been waiting for this.
That was a good. Yeah. That was a good drag race.
That's where we should have started, man. That's That's the numbers we wanted to start with.
It had tool batteries in it.
That's pretty amazing with tool batteries.
Yeah.
I cheated a little bit. Did you see how I cheated?
But Jesse's got no time for thousands of volts, bounces and jolts, or cars that don't make any noise. got metal to burn, sparks to fly. The next Monster Garage Challenge is just around the bend. www.monstergarage.tv. Check it out.